Let's get straight to the point. Number 8. The gateway to your soul. You think you're just getting from point A to point B, but you're actually broadcasting a full-blown autobiography with every single stride. Scientists call it Gait, but let's call it what it really is: your body's involuntary LinkedIn profile. If you're a power walker with long, aggressive strides, you aren't just in a hurry. You're screaming to the world that you're high energy, ambitious, and probably a total nightmare to grab a casual coffee with. You look like you're chasing a deadline that doesn't even exist, or perhaps just a very elusive taco. On the other end of the spectrum, we have the shufflers. If your feet barely leave the ground, you're telling everyone you're cautious, introverted, or perhaps just contemplating the heat death of the universe. Here's the dark science. A study in the Journal of Interpersonal Violence found that serial predators can actually spot a vulnerable target just by watching their gait for a few seconds. They aren't looking for muscles, they're looking for a lack of confidence and hesitation. So the next time you're walking through a parking lot at night, remember, your hips don't lie, but your ankles are snitching on your entire soul. Stop dragging your feet unless you want to look like a walking buffet. It's time to fix that posture before your own legs betray your survival instincts. Number 7. The Ocular Lie Detector. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, but they're more like high-definition billboards for your deepest insecurities. You might think you're nailing that mysterious stranger look, but the duration of your eye contact is actually a social precision tool that you're probably using like a sledgehammer. Hold it for 3 seconds, you're friendly. Hold it for 9 seconds, you're either in love or deciding which seasoning goes best with human liver. It's a fine line between charming and I have a basement full of mannequins. Scientifically, this is driven by the autonomic nervous system. When you're stressed or lying, your blink rate skyrockets because your brain is panicking. Conversely, a cold stare with zero blinking is often an unconscious attempt to dominate or intimidate. Even your pupils are traitors. They dilate when you see something you like, be it a romantic partner or a particularly well-marbled ribeye. This is why professional poker players wear sunglasses indoors like absolute tools. They know their eyes are constant snitches. You can't control your pupillary response any more than you can control your craving for midnight cereal. So the next time you lock eyes with someone, remember that while your mouth is saying nice to meet you, your retinas are likely screaming, I am incredibly uncomfortable and would like to leave this conversation immediately. Number 6. The Digital Handshake. Welcome to the 21st century, where your smartphone is basically a bionic limb that spills your secrets. How you clutch that $10,000 rectangle of glass and shattered dreams is a psychological Rorschach test. Are you a one-handed thumb scroller? Congratulations, you're likely the main character of your own life, confident, independent, and probably impulsive enough to buy a programmable slow cooker at 3 a.m. You trust your motor skills more than most people trust their government. But then there are the cradlers, the ones who hold the phone in one hand and peck at it with the index finger of the other, like a confused woodpecker investigating a stump. Psychology suggests this is the hallmark of someone who craves safety and order. You aren't just protecting your screen from a cracked fate, you're displaying a methodical, cautious nature that refuses to multitask. Scientific studies in behavioral biology show that our interaction with touchscreens reflects our cognitive load and anxiety levels. If you're a two-thumb typist, you're likely a high-speed efficiency junkie who views social interaction as a sport. Your grip isn't just about ergonomics, it's a physical manifestation of how you handle pressure. So stop pretending you're just checking a text. You're actually holding a mirror to your own neuroses while everyone watches you struggle with autocorrect. You are literally pecking your way to a personality reveal. Number 5. The sheet-crumpling truth. When you finally pass out after a day of being mediocre, your conscious mind takes a hike, but your body stays behind to tell the truth. Sleep positions are the most brutally honest behaviors you'll ever exhibit because you're literally unconscious. If you sleep in the fetal position, curled up like a terrified shrimp, you're part of the 41% who are sensitive and likely overthink every text message you've sent since 2012. It's a primal instinct for protection, returning to the safety of the womb because the real world is scary. Then there's the starfish. Flat on your back, limbs spread out like you own the mattress and the souls of everyone under it. This suggests high self-confidence and a hint of narcissism, though it also guarantees you're the loudest snorer in the zip code. Scientifically, sleep posture is linked to the Big 5 personality traits: Stomach sleepers, who bury their faces like they're hiding from a debt collector, tend to be bold and social, but secretly can't handle criticism. It's a biological paradox. You think you're resting, but your musculoskeletal alignment is actually writing a tell-all memoir. You might start the night looking like a dignified adult, but you'll wake up in a twisted heap that reveals you're actually a chaotic mess of suppressed emotions. Sleep tight, knowing your pillow is currently judging your lack of emotional stability. Number 4. The nervous leakage. Do you bite your nails, twirl your hair, or drum your fingers like you're auditioning for a heavy metal band? These aren't just bad habits, they're psychological leaks where your inner chaos is dripping out for everyone to see. Psychologists call these body-focused repetitive behaviors, and they're basically your brain's way of hitting the release valve on a pressure cooker. If you're a nail biter, you aren't just hungry for keratin, you likely score high in perfectionism and struggle with boredom. You're literally chewing on your own frustrations because the world isn't moving fast enough for your neurotic standards. Then there's the leg bouncer, the human earthquake. This constant motion is often an unconscious attempt to regulate cortisol levels and focus the mind. It's self-soothing for people who have 300 browser tabs open in their brain at all times. Science shows that these tics are dopamine-seeking behaviors that provide a temporary sense of control in an uncontrollable world. You think you're being subtle, but to anyone watching, you look like a glitching NPC in a poorly coded video game. Your body is screaming that you're stressed, bored, or incredibly impatient, even while you're smiling and nodding like a well-adjusted human. Stop pretending you're calm. Your bouncing knee is currently registering a 6.5 on the Richter scale, and we all know you're about 2 seconds away from a total system reboot. Number 3. The sound of awkwardness. Imagine you're in an elevator with a stranger, and the silence is so heavy you can hear your own heartbeat. For some, this silence is a void that must be filled immediately with riveting commentary about the weather or the speed of the lift. If you're a filler, science suggests you likely have higher social anxiety. You view silence as a failing grade in the exam of human interaction, so you blabber to build a defensive wall of noise. But here's the power move. The silent types who can hold a pause without flinching are usually the most self-assured. In business negotiations, this is known as the silence technique. Research shows that the person who speaks first to break a long pause is usually the one who folds, giving away more information or concessions just to stop the psychological pressure. Your inability to shut up isn't just friendliness, it's a tactical weakness. It's the brain's fight-or-flight response misfiring because there's no background music. Whether you're bonding or breaking, how you manage the absence of noise reveals if you're the master of your environment or a slave to your own discomfort. So next time you feel the urge to mention how crazy the rain is, maybe just sit there and let the awkwardness marinate. It makes you look smarter and significantly less desperate for validation. Number 2. The gastronomic soul searcher. You think your dinner is just calories, but the way you interact with your plate is a psychological autopsy with a side of fries. If you're a fast eater, you aren't just hungry, you're treating your meal like a pit stop in the Indy 500. You're ambitious, goal-oriented, and likely a nightmare to go on a date with because you're done with your steak before the other person has even unfolded their napkin. You live in the future, chasing the next task while inhaling pasta like a wood chipper. On the flip side, slow eaters are methodical and enjoy the present, but scientists note they often have a hidden streak of wanting to control the pace of their environment. How you organize your plate also snitches on you. Do you keep your peas from touching your potatoes like rival gangs? That's high conscientiousness and perfectionism. If you mix everything into a slurry, you're flexible and open to new experiences. Your eating habits reveal if you're a meticulous planner or a human garbage disposal. Your fork is telling everyone exactly how you'll handle a crisis. You are how you eat. Number 1. The pressure cooker reveal. When life turns the burner up to total catastrophe, your social mask doesn't just slip, it melts like a cheap candle. Your behavior under stress is the ultimate biological tell, revealing the raw wiring of your nervous system. Some people become human fountains. Excessive sweating isn't just a laundry problem, it's a sign of a hyperreactive fight or flight system. You're leaking anxiety like a damp sponge in a suit. Then there are the freezers. While you think you look like a stoic statue, psychologists know that a flat face and monotone voice signal the most intense stress reaction of all. It's the brain pulling the emergency brake because the engine is about to explode. This freeze response means your internal system is screaming while your exterior is as unresponsive as a government website. These aren't quirks, they are deep-seated unconscious scripts etched into your amygdala. Whether you fidget or turn into a human mannequin, your response to a crisis is the final, unedited draft of who you really are. You can't fake your way out of a nervous system meltdown. Your body is giving a PowerPoint presentation on your deepest fears, and everyone has a front row seat. Stop trying to look cool. We can see your brain rebooting. Your biology is the ultimate snitch, and in a crisis, it's singing like a canary. If you enjoyed finding out that your own body is basically a professional snitch, do yourself a favor and hit that like button. Share this with that one friend who walks like they're perpetually late for a meeting with destiny. And subscribe so you don't miss our daily reality checks. We post every single day here at Coolest Dude Explains. Because let's face it, you've got a lot more unconscious baggage for us to unpack. See you tomorrow. Try not to blink too much until then.